And into the preview we go. So, we've got a game this morning. If you're on the West Coast, 2 o'clock Eastern. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Philadelphia Flyers will be facing off neither in Chicago nor in Philadelphia. And I'm well aware of that while I do this preview, because sometimes when it's neutral site, people are like, well, yeah. Anyways. Here's the reason why. So last year, the Chicago Blackhawks were 36, 34, and 12. So let's just do this. So yeah, we're starting with Chicago and Philly. 36, 34, and 12 was Chicago's record. 37, 37, and 8 was Philadelphia's record. Philadelphia right in the race right till pretty close to the end. Chicago had some very important games till the end too. Now, both teams kind of fell off, and so their records don't flatter them as much as they would otherwise. But today on the road is Chicago. Technically, 17, 20, and 4. Technically, the home team is the 19, 18, and 4 Philadelphia Flyers. Being in Czech and Jacob Voracek being quite comfortable here, I'll go ahead and say Jacob Voracek makes Philadelphia the home team. Technically, Philadelphia will get last change. They are the home team. But, yes, when people say neither team is at home, they are right. So, getting that out of the way right up front. And it feels like both teams are looking for a fast start. Both teams trying to get back into the postseason. Teams known for making the postseason and having especially with Chicago, in Chicago's case, still a very, very good nucleus around which you feel like they could probably do some damage this year. Patrick Kane, 44 goals, 66 assists this past season. He will be looking to have another monster season. Jonathan Toews had a huge bounce-back season. 35 goals, 46 assists for 81 points. And Alex DeBrincat, 41 goals, 35 assists, 76 points. Armed with a brand new contract, there will be some pressure on him. Philadelphia side of things, Claude Giroux, 22 goals, 63 assists, 85 points. Couturier, 33 goals, 43 assists, 76 points. And Voracek, 20 goals, 46 assists, 66 points. And when I say there's pressure on DeBrincat, that's just standard. These young kids sign these contracts. They want to come in and prove, okay, I'm going to do this because it's going to be great. And it can have mixed results. Philadelphia won both meetings between these teams last year. Take that for what it is. In October, Philadelphia was 6-4-3 this past season, whereas Philadelphia was 5-7. They were slow out of the gate, and they were kind of trying to swim upstream all year. At the time that I threw this together, Leonard and Crawford, there was no confirmation on who was going to be starting. My guess would be Crawford. Other websites were saying Leonard. Carter Hart is the starter for Philly, so there's a check mark next to Hart because he was confirmed. And really, in all honesty, of course it's Carter Hart. Who else would it be? Moving along. Washington, the Capitals, are opening the Islanders season for them. The Capitals, of course, coming off of a come-from-behind win over St. Louis on night 1. Now we're into night 3, and they're in against the New York Islanders. That game starts at 7 o'clock. Again, these times that I give are Eastern time. That seems to be pretty standard around the NHL. But the Capitals, like I said, 1-0-0. The Islanders coming off of a season that saw them go 48, 27, and 7 at home. They were 24, 13, and 4. And of course, that one win for the Washington Capitals was on the road. So this is a good road trip to start the season. On the Washington side, Carlson and Eller both had 2 assists in that game against St. Louis. Ovechkin, Vrana, and Orlov had the goals in that game. Your power play goal came from Dmitry Orlov, and your game-winning goal came from Jacob Vrana, of course, in overtime. On the Islanders side of things, Barzal led the team in scoring with 18 goals, 44 assists, 62 points. Josh Bailey, 16 goals, 40 assists, 56 points. And Brock Nelson, 25 goals, 28 assists, 53 points to round out the top 3 scorers for the Islanders this past season. These teams split 4 games last year. In October, Washington was 5-3-2. That's that Stanley Cup hangover where they only won 5 out of 10. The Islanders 6-4-1 in the month of October. Samsonov is likely today. So apparently Samsonov's NHL career would start tonight in against likely Thomas Greiss for the New York Islanders, although Varlamov wouldn't surprise me either. If it was Varlamov and Samsonov, Russian versus Russian, kind of a fun matchup there. But yeah, I expect a really good game between two teams that know each other pretty well, because Barry Trotz is on one side, Todd Reardon on the other. They know each other very well. Should be a fun game. This one I'm looking forward to watching. Unlike last night where, yeah, sometimes you feel like you're getting kind of stretched thin when there's 5 games starting at the same time. But tonight it's not going to be anywhere near as bad. There's only 5 games on. Moving along. Next on the list is San Jose and Vegas. This game starts at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. my time Pacific, and it's in San Jose. So Vegas really kind of spanked the Sharks, and of course Erik Karlsson's wife had a baby. That's why he was away. And so we'll see whether or not he can jump back in the lineup for tonight. I'm going to guess they give him tonight off as well. Which would really be kind of a shame for San Jose, because without Kane or Karlsson, this team's severely in need of some scoring and some offense. Again, 1-0, 0-1. These teams met each other, so that shouldn't surprise anybody. Smith had 2 goals. Stone had a goal and an assist. William Karlsson had 2 assists, and Cody Glass, of course, scored his first goal. Power play goal was from Stone. Game-winning goal was from Riley Smith in that game. Sorensen had the only goal for San Jose and almost had 2. LeBanc, Thornton, and Vlasic all -2 after that first game. Plus minus in a single game atmosphere, it's worth looking at. Hurdle and Burns led the way in shots with 4 apiece in that first game. They're going to be looking for offense from Burns. Again, record in October for Vegas was 5-6-1. Record for San Jose 6-3-3. It's likely going to be the same goaltenders, Marc-Andre Fleury and Martin Jones. So Jones looking to bounce back in San Jose, and then these teams won't see each other again for a little while, which is probably for the best. Cooler heads should prevail a bit. I expect some fights in this. I expect these teams to really not get along, because that's kind of how this works out. And yeah, you guys can let me know what you guys think about that. Next up, Toronto and Columbus. Toronto, of course, won their first game on opening night. And tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs will be in Columbus. You know, that place where Ottawa sends all their rentals, at least this past season. And Toronto beat Ottawa, so let's see if they can beat the team where the rentals went. Columbus, of course, coming off of a season where they went 47-31-4. There's some pressure on Columbus this year, but not a ton. And not a ton because they lost Panarin, they lost Bobrovsky. Expectations have dropped quite a bit. Scoring for Toronto in that first game, of course, Matthews had 2 goals. Mikheyev had a goal and an assist. Barry had 2 assists. Moore and Gauthier added goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Power play goal and game-winning goal in that game. Austin Matthews on both counts. At home last year, the Columbus Blue Jackets were 22-17-2. So I would expect Columbus to come through and have a pretty decent game. Panarin led them in scoring last year. He, of course, is gone. That 28 goals, 59 assists, 87 points. Trying to replace that. Bringing in Nyquist may help. Atkinson, 41 goals, 28 assists, 69 points. And if Pierre-Luc Dubois took that next step offensively, last year he had 27 goals, 34 assists for 61 points. If he hit 70, 75, 80 points, then we're talking about a team in Columbus that may not miss Panarin as much as we may expect. In the month of October last year, Toronto was 8-4, and in the month of October, Columbus was 6-5 last year. Toronto won 2 out of 3 matchups between them and Columbus. I didn't put up when Vegas and San Jose what their record was last year, because they've already met once this year. So if people are wondering, that's why. Freddie Anderson had the win in the first game, likely plays tonight as well, has a save percentage of .885 and a goals against average of 3. And Korpisalo's been confirmed as the starter for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So that being said, I have to change boards. And last but not least, we have the Winnipeg Jets and the New Jersey Devils. So this is a big one for Winnipeg. Winnipeg, of course, coming off of a huge loss last night against the New York Rangers. 6-4. Ouch. Now they get to go in and play New Jersey as New Jersey opens their season, and then in a couple of days they're playing the Islanders. It is a brutal road trip that starts the season for Winnipeg, a season where we're already thinking they're going to give up a lot of goals. They gave up 6 last night. Now they get to play a Devils team with Jack Hughes making his NHL debut, Nikita Gusev making his NHL debut, Taylor Hall making his first appearance in a regular season game in a while. This could potentially be ugly. The New Jersey Devils 31-41-10 last year. Really want to get off to a good start. At home last year, they weren't bad. 20-14-7. So they won 20 out of 41 games. Better than their record on the road, certainly. Their road record was abysmal for most of last year. So they'll be looking to get off to a better start. In last night's game, Nick Ehlers had a very good game. Not that it is something that we would talk about a lot right now because, again, when you lose 6-4, he had 3 assists. Blake Wheeler had 2 goals. The other goals came from Scheifele and Connor. Power play goal from Connor. Of course, there are no game winners when you lose the game. And Blake Wheeler led the way with 9 shots. That's saying something since Blake Wheeler is primarily known as a passer. So maybe this year's going to be different or it was just one game. But we'll track this kind of thing. On the New Jersey side of things, Kyle Palmieri led this team in scoring, 27 goals, 23 assists, 50 points last year. Hischier, 17 goals, 30 assists, 47 points. He's expected to take that next step this year. Zajac, 19 goals, 27 assists, 46 points. Winnipeg did win both matchups between themselves and New Jersey last year. We'll see if they can continue that streak tonight against the New Jersey Devils. And of course, Winnipeg went 7-4-1 last October. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that this October. And the New Jersey Devils 5-3-1 in the month of October last year. They had a 4-0 start, and then it kind of fell apart from there. Hellebuck or Brossoit tonight. I'm not sure which way they're going to go. It's a back-to-back. Maybe you go with Brossoit, especially considering Hellebuck got shelled last night. And Corey Schneider will be starting for the New Jersey Devils tonight. So there you go. You guys are all set up for this morning, this afternoon, and tonight's action. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video, and tomorrow we have 13 games. So that's going to be a busy day. I'm pretty sure it's 13 tomorrow. And then it's only 3 on Sunday. So busy day tomorrow, and expecting a ton of goals and probably writer's cramp by the end of the night. But hey, these things happen. Let me know your thoughts. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.